The Mississippi River had always carried whispers of danger. That night, under a sky ripped apart by lightning, it roared like a living beast. The storm had rolled in fast, swallowing the town in rain and thunder. Most people had evacuated, but Sarah Mitchell had made the mistake of staying. Her sneakers splashed through mud as she ran along the levee, heart hammering, breath coming in short gasps. Her hair, long and brunette, was plastered to her cheeks, green eyes wide as the ground trembled beneath her. She had ignored every warning siren, every neighbor telling her to get uphill. She just needed space, a walk to clear her mind after another fight with her family. But now the river was swelling, the levee giving way beneath her. The earth cracked. Sarah slipped with a scream, sliding down the embankment before the Mississippi swallowed her whole. The current was merciless. Cold water filled her lungs as she fought to surface, flailing, coughing, choking. Branches and debris slammed into her. She spun helplessly, screaming into the storm. This is how I die, she thought, panic flooding her. Alone, in the dark. Then a roar, a motor, a beam of light cut through the storm. Hold on, a voice, deep and commanding, thundered over the waves. A rescue boat surged toward her. At the helm stood a man, tall and broad-shouldered, dark hair plastered against his forehead, rain dripping down his scarred jawline. His pale blue eyes locked on her with terrifying focus. He was Daniel Cross. The boat slammed alongside her. A strong hand shot down. Take it! Sarah clawed upward, fingers clutching his wrist. He hauled her in one powerful pull until she collapsed on the deck, coughing river water. She lay trembling, soaked through, gasping for air. The storm raged, but Daniel knelt beside her, one big hand on her back as she coughed. His voice was low, steady. You're all right. I've got you. She lifted her head, dazed, and met his eyes. They were striking, unyielding, and in that moment she felt both safe and trapped. He shrugged out of his heavy coat and wrapped it around her shoulders, pulling it snug beneath her chin. The leather smelled of rain, smoke, and something musky. His hands lingered, firm, as though making sure she couldn't slip away again. You're freezing, he murmured. Stay close. You need warmth. Before she could protest, he drew her against his chest. His body radiated heat, his arms like iron around her. She pressed against him, too weak to resist, her cheek resting against his soaked shirt. And to her shock, despite the fear, despite the storm, heat flooded her veins. The boat surged forward, but instead of heading back to the rescue trucks flashing upstream, Daniel angled it elsewhere. Sarah frowned, clutching the coat tighter. Wait, shouldn't we go back? She stammered. Not safe, he said firmly, eyes fixed on the storm. Upstream's chaos. I know a place, drier, quieter, safer. She swallowed uneasy. His hand smoothed over her damp hair, slow, almost tender. You trust me, don't you? Her lips parted, but no sound came. Something in his gaze made it impossible to say no. Yes, she whispered. His mouth curved. Good girl. The safer place was an abandoned fishing shack, half flooded but still standing. Daniel tied the boat outside and carried her inside in his arms as though she weighed nothing. The shack smelled of damp wood and smoke. He set her down on a bench near a lantern he lit, the golden glow flickering across the shadows. Sarah shivered, water dripping from her clothes. Daniel crouched in front of her, his eyes raking over her. You'll catch pneumonia in those clothes. His voice was gentle, but firm. You need to get out of them. Her breath caught. I can't. You almost died tonight, he said softly, leaning closer. His hand brushed her cheek, thumb grazing her lips. I'm not letting you risk it again. Before she could protest, he tugged at her soaked jacket, peeling it away. She froze as his knuckles brushed her bare arms, the heat of his skin igniting goosebumps. Her heart pounded wildly. She should tell him to stop, should demand he take her back, but instead, she sat trembling, mesmerized. Daniel stripped off his own wet shirt, muscles rippling in the lantern light. The scar on his jaw caught the glow, making him look dangerous, almost feral. He draped his dry undershirt over her shoulders, his fingers brushing her collarbone deliberately, possessively. Better, he whispered. Sarah looked up at him, chest heaving. Why are you helping me? His gaze softened, but his smile was edged with hunger. Because you belong with me now. I felt it the moment I pulled you from that river. You did too. Her lips parted, denial trembling there, but when he cupped her face and kissed her, the protest melted away. The kiss was slow, claiming, his mouth warm and insistent against hers. Her body betrayed her, leaning into him, fingers curling into his shoulders. The world outside, the rain, the storm vanished. There was only his breath, his strength, his heat. When he pulled back, her cheeks flushed, her lips swollen, her body aching with confusion. "You feel it," he murmured. "Don't lie to me." And God help her, she did. The hours blurred. He kept her close, his hands stroking her hair, her arms, her waist, each touch more intimate than the last. Sarah trembled between fear and desire, trapped between wanting to escape and wanting more. Every time she thought of pulling away, his voice low, commanding, anchored her. "You're safe with me. No one else can keep you safe. You belong to me now." And part of her believed him. Morning came, but not safety. The river outside still raged. Sarah tried again. "Daniel, we have to go back. People will be looking for me." His jaw tightened. "They don't deserve you. They never did. You're mine now." Her pulse spiked. His devotion wasn't love, it was obsession. And she was alone with him. When he leaned in to kiss her again, she didn't pull away. Instead, she let him believe she was yielding. She kissed him back, slow, her fingers brushing his chest, sliding to his belt, then darting to the knife strapped at his side. But before she could grab it, the shack exploded with light. "Police, hands where we can see them." Flashlights and rifles filled the doorway. Daniel snarled, pulling Sarah against him like a shield. "No! She's mine." His eyes burned with wild desperation. "She needs me." Sarah's heart thundered. She twisted in his grip, her voice hoarse but fierce. "No, Daniel, I don't." For the first time, he faltered. In that split second, she wrenched free, shoving him backward. Officers surged forward, tackling him to the ground. He fought like a man possessed, roaring her name, but they pinned him at last, cuffing him as he thrashed. Sarah collapsed against the wall, shaking, watching the man who had saved her and almost destroyed her dragged away. Hours later, wrapped in a blanket on the riverbank, Sarah watched a sunrise burn through the mist. The golden light washed over the raging water, turning it beautiful again. She should have felt safe. She should have felt free. But her lips still tingled from his kiss. Her body still remembered the heat of his touch. She closed her eyes, shuddering. Daniel Cross was gone, but the Stormy had left inside her might never pass.